Okay, so I know you weren't talking to me personally, but I do think I have an answer to this question. I think we really need to think about whether Azriel, what he really wants is a mate or whether what he really wants is love. I think that a lot of people are characterizing or mischaracterizing him as someone who is hyper focused on a mate, especially because Rhysand and Cassian are happily mated two sisters. So it was very easy to misconstrue Azriel's very natural envy for like being kind of like on the outside and being alone as for like, oh no, like I want my mate to just be like the random third sister but also like discounting that like he actually does seem to really like her. Like his objection to Rhysand in the bonus really didn't have anything to do with, oh no, like he just wants a mate, like he just wants like to be part of this match set. It's that he wants love, and then she clearly wants him and he wants her, and they can't do anything about it because of this bond that she doesn't want. And not that it's like anything against Lucian. I actually don't think that Azriel has anything against Lucian. I think he talked a lot of shit in the bonus chapter, but I also think like he's pissy, he's jealous. And I think in a situation like that, it's natural. There are men in these stories who get jealous for really dumb reasons. I direct you to Cassian not being able to put on his big boy pants about Nesta fucking other people. Meanwhile, he can't be nice to her in public. But this is not a video about shitting on Cassian. But back to Elriel here. I just don't think that Azriel wanting a mate is actually like a hugely important part of his character. I think he wants a mate in the way that like everybody wants a mate, but I don't think he was like actively out here looking for a mate. I think he's doesn't feel like he deserves love, so why would he feel like he deserves a mate? And Elaine is probably the first person since Morrigan where he felt like, oh shit, like I want this person, I love this person. Which is why I think any story involving Azriel in any way, whether as a romantic lead or otherwise, I think it has to involve Morrigan and finding out what the fuck happened in them damn woods. Morrigan herself doesn't seem to know what happened in the woods, because like we do get like a glimpse of her perspective there. So either she's hiding it from us or she legit just doesn't know. So which means we need Eris, which is why, oddly enough, if it is an Illusion endgame and we do end up with a story where Azriel ends up with one of the redheads that's being thrown at him, I actually do think that the most likely one to be an endgame is Eris of all people. Because at that point, both Mor and Eris would be gay, and it would explain why Eris left her in the woods, because he didn't want her to be trapped in a straight heteronormative lifestyle with him. And then eventually he ends up with Azriel, and I do feel like that makes more sense than fucking Gwynreel or Brycereel anyway. But I don't think that you can do a proper story about Azriel without Eris and really getting into the weeds of what the fuck happened in them damn woods. This is another reason why I think that Gwynreel and Brycereel are just way less likely than Azriel, because I think you need Eris in order to do a proper Azriel story. And I just don't think that Gwyn or Bryce really have the opportunity to bring Eris into their storylines in any way. Elaine with Lucian does, but that's a whole other conversation. And I also just don't think that they're endgame either, because of all the stuff that she was talking about on Sarah, that Sarah was talking about on Call Her Daddy, where she was like, oh no, like mating bonds aren't always true love and all that stuff. Like the emphasis of that does point to Elriel. That being said, I do feel like I kind of got away from your question, which is what happens if Az finds his mate down the line. I just personally don't think that Azriel wanting a mate is actually a hugely formative part of his character. I think what he really wants is love, and with Elaine, that he would have it. Also, I feel like in order for it to be fair for like Elaine and Azriel, I feel like there would need to be a reveal of Azriel's mate, whether it was someone in the past or like someone otherwise, and it could be any one of the fucking redheads that's been thrown at him. And neither of them would want these bonds to other people because they are invested in each other. And at that point, they would have, they would be on equal footing when it comes to having a mating bond that they don't want. Like, they both have something in their way. And I think a story that involves that kind of plotline, this question wouldn't even necessarily be relevant, because we would have the knowledge of whoever Az's mate is, and he would be rejecting her.